officially put the district and the regional B together, Ms. Cheryl Ullman. Thank you, Cheryl. That's a lot of work and a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of mailings to make sure everything's sent out. And I know she does a very nice job for me and really has it all detailed out. And I'd like to also introduce the judges today. We have Mr. Scott Holler. He's a 5th grade elementary teacher, and he was one of my past students. Mr. Jeff Peterson, he's principal at Meadowview Elementary School in Oak Creek. And Miss Jennifer Wimmer, she's the associate principal here at East Middle School. She's the one that does all my work, makes me look good. And last but not least, the most important person in the spelling bee besides the spellers is, again, Miss Mary Eaton. She's our pronouncer tonight. She's secretary at Shepherd Hills Elementary School. Miss Eaton has been a pronouncer for us for many years. I'm going to guess at least 10 years, and has done a wonderful job for us every year. I'm glad she comes back and does it, and we're very happy on behalf of Oak Creek School District to sponsor the regional spelling bee tonight, and I hope you have a great time. At this time, I had a little chat with the spellers. They've already did the hard work. They are representing their schools, and now the top spellers are behind me. And so tonight, I want them to relax, have fun, and just follow through. Just listen to we run a bee just like probably the bees that they went through. And Miss Eaton is going to talk to them a little bit before we start on the rules. And again, let's give them a round of applause and congratulations for being here. Congratulations and good luck, and I'll turn it over to Miss Eaton.
Okay, as in your regular bees, I will give you a word. Please be sure to repeat that word so that in case you didn't hear it correctly, we can stop you before you go on. I will also give you a sentence. You can ask me to define the word or use it in another sentence. If you begin spelling a word incorrectly, if you stop, you must continue or start again with that exact same sequence of letters that you used previously. If you don't, then you would be disqualified from the round. Be sure and look to the judges for they're okay that you've said the word correctly. And I encourage you to speak loudly. You can use a little bit more than your normal inside classroom voice so that we all hear you. Audience, we need your quiet participation. And one speller will go to the state, and there will be one alternate. In order to win the bee, you must spell 2 words correctly. When you do that, we'll have our winner. Shall we begin? Would you please introduce yourself and say where you are from?
Brittany Weiss, Franklin.
Oh, wait.
Obviously, we had a late contestant come in, and it's my decision. I'm going to allow the alternate on as well.
Okay, be sure and say your name and where you're from when you come up to the mic, and we'll begin with a nice, easy warm-up round.
Brittany Weiss, Franklin.
Arrive. I plan to arrive early for the spelling bee.
Arrive. A-R-R-I-V-E. Arrive.
Flower. In science class, we learn to identify the parts of a flower. Sleigh. Two horses pulled our sleigh through the snow. Dissolve. Salt will dissolve easily into a glass of water.
Dissolve. D-I-S-S-O-L-V-E. Dissolve.
My name is Debbie Hammernick, and I'm from St. Matthew's School.
Error. I made only one error on my test.
Error. E-R-R-O-R. Error.
Summary. We were assigned to write a brief summary of the book.
Sammy Serovina, South Milwaukee.
Advice. Take my advice and try the chocolate cake.
Advice. A-D-V-I-C-E. Advice.
Reward. There was a reward offered for anyone finding the lost cat.
Reward. R-E-W-A-R.
I'm Stephen Graziano from McKinley Middle School in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Before. All my chores must be done before I can watch television.
Before. B-E-F-R-E. Before.
No, I'm sorry. It's B-E-F-O-R-E. Okay. The judges have allowed.
My name is Deanne Carlone, and I'm from Greendale Middle School.
While. He played a video game while waiting for the rain to stop.
While. W-H-I-L-E. While.
Enough. Mom made enough spaghetti to feed the entire neighborhood.
Enough. E-N-O-U-G-H. Enough.
I'm Samantha Durzak from Greendale Middle School.
Dairy. Jeff is allergic to all dairy products.
Dairy, D-A-R-I-Y, D-A-I-R-Y, dairy.
No, I'm sorry, we can't allow that. She retraced it, but with the wrong letters. It's D-A-I-R-Y. Ounce. Many songbirds weigh less than 1 ounce.
Ounce. O-U-N-C-E. Ounce.
Cider. This is the best apple cider I have ever tasted.
Cider. C-I-D-E-R. Cider.
Where? Where did you put my backpack?
Where? W-H-E-R-E. Where?
Brianna Johnson from McKinley Middle School of Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Crate. Don't try to lift that crate by yourself.
Crate. C-R-A-T-E. Crate.
Which? I can't decide which sweater to wear today.
Which. W-H-I-C-H. Which.
Cal Johnson, McKinley Middle School, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Gnaw. My puppy likes to gnaw on my gym shoes.
Gnaw. G-N-A-W. Gnaw.
Jason Carrion, Greendale Middle School.
Stamp. Robert placed a stamp in the upper right-hand corner of the envelope.
Stamp. S-T-A-M-P. Stamp.
I'm Amy Look from Oak Creek.
Haven. My backyard is a haven for many kinds of birds.
Haven. H-A-V-E-N. Haven.
I'm Jackie Rosman, and I'm from Foley Middle School in Kenosha.
Swimming. The best part of summer vacation is swimming in the lake.
Swimming. S-W-I-M-M-I-N-G.
I'm Brandon Hillary from South Mountain Middle School.
Study. I can't study while the television is on.
Study. S-T-U-D-Y. Study.
Dollar. I spent my last dollar buying hamburger and fries.
Dollar. D-O-L-L-A-R. Dollar.
Acta Desai from Franklin.
Prompt. Linda needed to be prompt in registering for the dance class.
Prompt. P-R-O-M-P-T. Prompt.
Hardy. It takes a hardy plant to survive Wisconsin winters.
Hardy. H-E-A-R-D-Y. Hardy.
No, it's really spelled H-A-R-D-Y.
Morgan Miller from Kenosha.
Strap. Make sure the strap of your bicycle helmet is fastened securely.
Strap. S-T-R-A-P. Strap.
Okay, number one. Now we'll start the real spelling bee round. Please be sure to speak loudly. so that the judges and everyone can hear you carefully. We'll adjust a mic so that it'll be more appropriate for you to use. Okay? Acre. My house sits on 1 acre of land.
Acre. A-C-R-E. Acre.
School. Each year my school participates in the regional spelling bee.
School. S-C-H-O-O-L. School.
Drain. Mary's ring rolled down the kitchen drain.
Drain. D-R-A-I-N. Drain.
Surface. Algae covered the surface of the pond.
Surface. S-U-R-F-A-C-E. Surface.
Eight. The rules require that we have 8 girls on the jump rope team.
8. E-I-G-H-T. 8.
Between. We set up our tent between 2 oak trees.
Between. B-E-T-W-E-E-N. Between.
Piano. The piano is my favorite musical instrument.
Piano. P-I-A-N-O. Piano.
Quiz. That math quiz was not as hard as I thought it would be.
Quiz. Q-U-I-Z. Quiz.
Resort. Last summer we stayed in a lakeside resort.
Resort. R-E-S-O-R-T. Resort.
Twist. You have to twist the cap off the bottle to open it.
Twist. T-W-I-S-T. Twist.
Lilac. I love the smell of lilac blossoms.
Lilac. L-Y-L-A-C. Lilac.
I'm sorry, it's L-I-L-A-C. Solve. Can you solve a Rubik's Cube?
Solve. S-O-L-V-E. Solve.
Relish. I like my hot dogs with pickle relish and mustard.
Relish. R-E-L-I-S-H. Relish.
Apron. Dad always wears an apron when he grills hamburgers outside.
Apron. A-P-R-O-N. Apron.
Herd. A herd of cattle grazed on the hillside.
Herd. H-E-R-D. Herd.
Judge. Laura was chosen to be a judge at the science fair.
Judge. J-U-D-G-E. Judge.
Light. My bicycle needs a new light before I can ride it at night.
Light. L-I-G-H-T. Light.
Noble. It is a noble gesture to open the door for your mother.
Noble. N-O-B-L-E. Noble.
Stump. While hiking through the forest, I sat down on a tree stump to eat my lunch.
Stump. S-T-U-M-P. Stump.
Habit. I have a habit of playing my guitar every day.
Habit. H-A-B-I-T. Habit.
Return. Can we finish the project when we return to class tomorrow?
Return. R-E-T-U-R-N. Return.
Lumber. A caravan of trucks carrying lumber headed for the sawmill.
Lumber. L-U-M-B-E-R. Lumber.
Itch. This wool sweater makes my arms itch.
Itch. I-T-C-H. Itch.
Guide. My job at open house is to guide parents to the right rooms.
Guide. G-U-I-D.
Hero. My biggest hero is my dad.
Hero. H-E-R-O. Hero.
Known. Sarah is known for her athletic ability.
Known. K-N-O-W-N. Known. There we go.
Kidney. Identifying parts on the drawing of the body, Eloise labeled each bean-shaped organ as a kidney.
Kidney. K-I-D-N-E-Y. Kidney.
Indigo. The gemstone was indigo, and the pendant matched her blue suit perfectly and looked stunning.
Indigo. I-N-D-I-G-O. Indigo.
Skewer. The chef threaded marinated meat, onions, and tomatoes on the skewer in preparing his renowned shish kebabs.
Skewer. S-C-U-W-E-R. Skewer.
No, I'm sorry, it's S-K-E-W-E-R. Dreary. The sky was dark and dreary, and the rain had kept the children shut inside the gloomy house all day.
Dreary. D-R-E-A-R-Y. Dreary.
Wreath. For a Christmas gift to her teacher, Anne made a wreath out of ribbons twisted into a circle.
Wreath. W-R-E-A-T-H. Wreath.
Waffle. I had a waffle instead of pancakes this morning because I like the way the syrup pools in the holes.
Waffle. W-A-F-F-L-E. Waffle.
Unfurl. Everyone stood while the leader began to unfurl the flag, and we all sang the national anthem.
Unfurl.
Oxford. Mother described an Oxford as a low white blucher with dark leather over the instep.
What's the word?
Oxford.
Oxford. O-X-F-O-R-D. Oxford.
Flinty. The general had a flinty reputation, and the men knew him as an unyielding and demanding commander. Flinty.
F-L-I-N-T-Y.
Frigid. Unaccustomed to the frigid weather in Canada, Amy yearned to move back to sunny Florida.
Frigid.
F-R-I-D. G-I-D. Frigid.
No, I'm sorry, it's F-R-I-G-I-D. Mellow. Unable to wait until the apples were mellow, Wes bit into one only to discover it was too sour to eat.
Mellow. M-E-L-L-O-W. Mellow.
Helmet. Fortunately, Rocky was wearing his helmet because the ball hit him in the back of the head.
Helmet. H-E-L-M-E-T. Helmet.
Delved. Seeing Pompeii, Joe felt he had delved into secrets of ancient Rome by glimpsing a day of their lives.
Definition.
To dig into, explore laboriously.
Delve. D-E-L-V-E-D. Delve.
Splice. The sailor would patiently splice the ends of the broken rope until it was strongly joined again.
Splice. S-P-L-I-C-E. Splice.
Lament. The lonely cry of the coyote seemed to lament the close of the day.
Lament. L-A-M-E-N-T. Lament.
Simile. In the phrase, a heart as cold as ice is an example of a simile.
Simile. S-I-M-I-L-I-E. Simile.
No, I'm sorry, it's S-I-M-I-L-E. Homely. Sheila had been a homely child, but like the ugly duckling, she grew into a beautiful, gracious adult.
Homely. H-O-M-L-E-Y. Homely.
No, I'm sorry, it's H-O-M-E-L-Y. Flurries. Snow flurries were predicted, but we were not expecting the icy sleet that fell overnight.
Flurries. F-L-U-R-R-I-E-S. Flurries.
Blustery. A sudden, blustery wind had acted to scatter every leaf we had raked that morning.
Blustery. Blustery.
Downcast. The child looked so downcast when I corrected him that I feared I had overreacted and hurt his feelings.
Downcast. D-O-W-N-C-A-S-T. Downcast.
Embracing. Embracing the crying child, Emily quieted the infant, cooing, "It'll be all right."
Embracing. E-M-B-R-A-C-I-N-G. Embracing.
Enchanted. Granny enchanted the children with her tales of her own childhood, and they listened mesmerized for hours.
Enchanted. E-N-C-H-A-N-T-E-D. Enchanted.
Exclusive. Fifth graders have exclusive use of the Fifth graders have exclusive use of the band hall first period, and only fourth graders can use it second period. Difficult. The instructions for assembling the model airplane were puzzling and difficult to understand.
Difficult. D-I-F-F-I-C-U-L-T. Difficult.
Magnitude. The magnitude of the project was so extensive that Mr. Mason feared the club was attempting too ambitious a job.
Magnitude. M-A-G-N-I-T-U-D-E.
Okay, we will go to the page. They are not numbered, but our first word is acrobatic. The acrobatic in the circus amazed us with the seemingly impossible feats of agility and gymnastic tricks.
Acrobatic. A-C-R-O-B-A-T-I-C. Acrobatic.
Agreeable. Connie was so agreeable that everyone who met her soon felt as if they had been friends for years.
Agreeable.
Agreeable.
Agreeable. A-G-R-E-E-A-B-L-E. Agreeable.
Formulate. Let's each formulate a plan for winning the debate meet. Then we'll compare and use the best parts of each scheme.
Oh, okay. Formulate. F-O-R-M-U-L-A-T-E. Formulate.
Sorrowful. Watching the sorrowful widow, she could only wonder how the sad old woman would recover from her grief.
Sorrowful. S-O-R-R-O-W-F-U-L. Sorrowful.
Hurriedly. Nora hurriedly copied Jill's notes so that she could study them before class started. Disturbed. Ted turned down the volume on the radio because he knew loud noises disturbed his mother when she had a headache.
Disturbed. D-I-S-T-U-R-B-E-D. Disturbed.
Mistiness. The mistiness made it uncomfortable to play golf, and we decided to play the back nine when the light rain let up.
Mistiness. M-I-S-T-I-N-E-S-S. Mistiness.
Husbandry. All his relatives had practiced husbandry, but Al determined to be the first to work outside agriculture. Satellite. The moon is the only natural satellite orbiting around the Earth, but Jupiter has at least 16.
Satellite. S-A-T-E-L-L-I-T-E. Satellite.
Intercept. Marianne was able to intercept the embarrassing note that was being passed before it got to Todd.
Intercept. I-N-T-E-R-C-E-P-T. Intercept.
Interpret. Mrs. Stone couldn't interpret some of the hen scratch on Julie's paper, and she graded it down for lack of clarity.
Interpret. I-N-T-E-R-P-R-E-T. Interpret.
Interrupt. Please do not interrupt me before I can finish giving you the instructions you will need.
Interrupt. I-N-T-E-R-R-U-P-T. Interrupt.
Interlace. Rod was a riveting speaker because he would interlace such clever anecdotes with the meat of his talks.
Interlace. I-N-T-E-R-L-A-C-E. Interlace.
Extension. The judge granted an extension of 2 weeks for the defendant's attorney to gather more evidence for the trial.
Extension. E-X-T-E-N-S-I-O-N. Extension.
Cavernous. Sam rowed his boat into a cavernous recess at the base of the towering cliff and found an entrance to a vast cave.
Cavernous.
Cavernous.
Cavernous. C-A-V-E-R-N-O-U-S.
Inversion. The inversion of the fraction 2/3 would be 3 seconds.
Inversion. I-N-V-E-R-S-I-O-N. Inversion.
Bewitched. Julia, after a string of bad luck, was convinced that an evil sorcerer had bewitched her and caused her ill fortune.
Bewitched. B-E-W-I-T-C-H-E-D. Bewitched.
Consort. Let me direct the question to my learned consort who has worked with me on the entire project, said Dr. Mims.
Consort. C-O-N-S-O-R-T. Consort.
Monsoon. The weather felt like a monsoon with its thundering wind and driving sheets of rain that continued for 2 days.
Monsoon. M-O-N-S-O-R.
Dynamic. The volcano erupted in a dynamic explosion that spewed molten rock and gas high into the air.
What's the word? Can you repeat it?
Dynamic.
Dynamic. D-Y-N-A-M-I-C. Dynamic.
Footage. The carpenter calculated footage of the 2x4s he needed to determine the material cost of the project.
Footage. F-O-O-T-A-G-E. Footage.
We'll go to the intermediate. Stroganoff. Mrs. Ames prepared her delectable stroganoff using lean strips of beef in a thick, tasty mushroom sauce.
Stroganoff. S-T-R-O-G-A-N-O-F-F. Stroganoff.
Tyrannical. Ruling as a tyrannical despot, the king executed all who opposed his absolute power and harsh punishments.
Tyrannical. T-Y-R-R-A-N-I-C-A-L. Tyrannical.
I'm sorry, it's T-Y-R-A-N-N-I-C-A-L. Masquerade. Amanda decided to masquerade as a circus performer for the costume party, replete with juggling balls and unicycle.
Masquerade. M-A-S-Q-U-E-R-A-D-E. Masquerade.
Pasteurize. In the country, farmers often pasteurize milk themselves by heating it to 145 degrees for 30 minutes.
Pasteurize. P-A-S-T. E-U-R-I-Z-E. Pasteurize.
Resilience. Mr. Pate is always amazed at the resilience of young people who seem so able to bounce back after disappointments.
Can I have a definition?
It means act of rebounding, elasticity.
Resilience. R-E-S-I-L-I-E-N-C-E. Resilience.
Dissevered. The group alternately united and dissevered, and little progress was made due to the seesawing action.
Dissever or dissevered?
Dissevered, past tense.
Dissevered. D-I-S-E-V-E-R-E-D. Dissevered.
No, I'm sorry, it's D-I-S-S-E-V-E-R-E-D, 2 S's. Dissipated. Holding the dandelion and blowing, Jenny watched as the airborne seed dissipated over the lawn.
Dissipated. D-I-S-S-A-P-A-T-E-D. Dissipated.
No, I'm sorry, it's Dissipated. Distraught. The police attempted to question the woman about the auto accident, but she was too distraught to speak coherently. Insurgents. The insurgents listened to the vitriolic speech of the leader who stirred his men to wild rioting against the king. Definition is persons who rise in revolt against a government. Insurgents. No, I'm sorry, it's Insurgents. Posthumous. The family of a Marine killed in the Korean War was presented a posthumous award 20 years after the hero's death.
I have a definition.
Coming after one has died.
Can you repeat the word?
Posthumous.
Posthumous. P-O-S-T-U-M-O-U-S.
I'm sorry, it's Posthumous. Assimilate. The Cubans didn't assimilate into American society for years, and some never blended with other nationalities here.
Definition.
To absorb or meld together.
Can you repeat it?
Assimilate.
Assimilate. A-C-C-I-M-A-L-A-T-E. Assimilate.
I'm sorry, it's A-S-S-I-M-I-L-A-T-E. Petronella. Gran loved the old Scottish dances, and she showed us the Petronella, the Schottish, and Strip the Willow.
Petronella.
Yes.
P-E-T-R-O-N-E-L-A. Petronella.
No, I'm sorry, it's P-E-T-R-O-N-E-L-L-A. Antithesis. The sentence, "They promised freedom and provided slavery," is an example of antithesis.
May I please have the definition?
It means direct opposite in use of words or sentences.
Antithesis. A-N-T-I-C-H-E-S-I-S. Antithesis.
Introspect. I hear your criticisms, added Jessie, but I'll have to introspect to decide if I agree with your concerns.
Can I have the definition, please?
Examine one's own thoughts and reactions.
Introspect. I-N-T-E-R-S-P-E-C-T. Introspect.
No, I'm sorry, it's I-N-T-R-O-S-P-E-C-T. Eco-catastrophe. A news reporter called the oil spill an eco-catastrophe because it devastated the environmental balance in the bay.
Eco-catastrophe. E-C-O-C-A-T-A-S-T-R-O-P-H-E.
Prognosticator. Through years of observing nature's own signs, the ancient hermit had become an accurate weather prognosticator.
Prognosticator. Prognosticator.
Tropicopolitan. The coconut palm is a tropicopolitan species, being widely planted in all regions near the equator.
Could you repeat the word?
Tropicopolitan.
Tropicopolitan. Tropicopolitan. Tropical.
I'm sorry, it's Tropicopolitan. Impressionable. A great amount of tact is required in dealing with young, impressionable children.
Impressionable. Impressionable. Impressionable.
Anthropologist. Fascinated with isolated cultures, the anthropologist spent 20 years studying tribal life in remote areas of the Amazon. Anthropologist. Orthopterology. A specialist in orthopterology, Dr. West had a wealth of information on roaches, grasshoppers, and related species.
Could you repeat the word?
Orthopterology. Excuse me, let me repeat that again. Orthopterology.
Orthopterology. O-R-T-O-P-T. E-R-O-L-O-G-Y.
No, I'm sorry, it's O-R-T-H-O-P-T-E-R-O-L-O-G-Y. Acclimatization. Unaccustomed to the heat, John had a problem with acclimatization after moving to sunny Arizona from upstate New York.
Have a definition.
Process of adjusting to environmental change.
Climatization.
Yes.
Climatization. A-C-C-I-M-A-T-I-Z-A-T-I-O-N.
I'm sorry. Are you finished? ACCLIMATIZATION. Enfranchisement. The Emancipation Proclamation effected enfranchisement for slaves, but times were difficult for freed slaves.
Can you repeat the word?
Enfranchisement.
Enfranchisement.
No, I'm sorry, it's ENFRANCHISEMENT. Okay. Talipes. The newborn's talipes was so severe that surgery was needed to adjust the bones and tendons of the deformed foot.
Can you repeat the word, please?
Talipes.
Talipes? Is that correct? All right. Talipes?
So close. TALIPES.
Oh.
Tallage. In feudal France, the tallage was a tax on a tenant's profits based on an estimate of his stock. Tallage.
Can I have the definition, please?
It is fee paid by a feudal tenant to commute some required services. It's a tax.
Tallage. T-A-L-E-G-E. Tallage.
No, I'm sorry, it's TALLAGE. Obloquy. Jason pretended to ignore the obloquy, but in reality he felt very hurt at his friend's abusive reprehension.
Can I have a definition?
It means abusive language, calumny.
Can you repeat the word one more time?
Obloquy.
Obloquy. O-B-L-I-Q-U-E. Obloquy.
I'm sorry, it's OBLOQUY. Milonga. Gran showed us the tango, the Charleston, and the milonga that she'd learned as a young woman. Ballroom dance originating in Argentina that came before the tango. Mhm. Jambo. The entire suit of armor was intact except for one jambo, but Mr. Jorns had the missing leg piece manufactured.
Jambo. J-A-M-B-O. Jambo.
Oh, sorry, it's JAMBEAU. Domain. The Lord reserved the mansion and the domain around it for himself, and freehold tenants occupied the remainder.
Can I have the definition?
Estate, land attached to a mansion.
Domain?
Yes.
D-A-M-A-I-N?
No, I'm sorry, it's D-E-M-E-S-N-E. Jimmy's. Sue ordered ice cream with a liberal serving of Jimmy's, but I chose a banana split.
Jimmy's. J-I-M-I-S-E, Jimmy's.
I'm sorry, it's J-I-M-M-I-E-S. Gymnure. Also called a hairy hedgehog or moonrat, a gymnure is known to be especially foul-smelling.
Definition, please.
A rat-like insectivore.
Gymner? J-I-M-N-O-R, Gymner?
No, I'm sorry, it's J-Y-M-N-U-R-E. Okay, we're down to our final two. If you'd like to move to the front row, you can. And you receive the next word, correct? In order to win, you must spell two words correctly. If you miss, that same word will be given to the next person, and he will have to spell two correctly. Rankine. On the Rankine scale of absolute temperature, the freezing point of water would be 491.67 degrees. Rankine. Pardon? Oh. Rankine. On the Rankine scale of absolute temperature, the freezing point of water would be 491.67 degrees. No, I'm sorry. Take your seat. Rankine. On the Rankine scale of absolute temperature, the freezing point of water would be 491.67 degrees. No, I'm sorry, it's R-A-N-K-I-N-E. He gets the next word. Xanthic. The xanthic coloring of the child's skin suggested that perhaps her heritage was Asian. Having a yellowish color. No, I'm sorry. Xanthic. The xanthic coloring of the child's skin suggested that perhaps her heritage was Asian. Okay. Your next word is ponso. Hilda's gown was a rich ponceau satin, and the strong red was striking against her suntanned skin. Very good. Congratulations.
I'd like to congratulate our regional spelling bee that'll be going to state, and her name is Ekta Desai. Nice job. Here's your plaque. Congratulations. I'd like to bring Stephen up. Stephen is the alternate for the spelling bee for the state as well. Stephen, congratulations. Thank you very much, Ms. Eaton and the judges. I appreciate everyone coming tonight. Thank you.